All right, hello. I would like to introduce Ethan and Louise on the project of Kinematic Gait Analysis of Running. Take it away, boys.
All right, so good afternoon. My name is Ethan.
And my name is Ethan Simpson.
We are presenting on Kinetics and Kinetics Gait Analysis of Running.
So first we need to answer the question, what is gait analysis? More specifically, what is gait? So gait is just the study of locomotion. Locomotion is just how something moves. So gait analysis, we are studying how something is moving. So there are many different ways we can use gait analysis in the real world. For example, sports and movement. We can analyze how athletes are moving in order to improve themselves. Another one, health diagnostics. If someone is injured, if they injured their leg, if like they broke their leg, we can understand their asymmetry or symmetry of their legs, so we can help improve them back to normal. And then a big one, rehabilitation, like I said, and also para-athletes with prosthetics. That's a really big one. We can use gait analysis to understand their asymmetry and help improve the prosthetic. So in gait, there are two different phases. We can break it up into two basic phases. We have swing phase and we have stance phase. So swing phase is just when your leg is in the air. While you're walking, when your leg is in the air, that's swing phase. And then when it's in contact with the ground, that's stance. You can see it in the photo on the left. When the leg is in blue, it's in stance, and when it's green, it is in swing. And on the right, I just gave the two basic phases. You can split them up into more sub-phases, heel strike, push up, all that. Okay, so like I said, the title, we're going to be experimenting in Kinetics and Kinematics. So Kinetics is just the study of the force acting upon a mechanism. So this is a model we made in our experiment. The circle shows is circling around the red arrow. That's just the force. That just shows the force that is being put on the treadmill. To measure the force, we have force plates underneath our treadmill that we use, which we will talk about later. And then kinematics. Kinematics is it's concerned with the motion of the objects, where they are in space. For this, we use cameras and retroreflective markers, which we also talk about later. Okay, so our research, we're trying to understand the kinetics and kinematics of gait analysis while someone is running.
All right, so for our materials, we have markers that we placed in anatomical landmarks. These are just where bones and segments are located. And they were 14 millimeters in diameter, and the special thing about these markers were they were retroreflective, which means they bounce light off. And so in this picture, you can see this is just a normal picture, and that's how the markers look like. For this picture, we actually use the light. We actually use the light on the boat, and you can see that how it reflects all the light out. And this helps the camera to capture where the markers are. All right, and so where we place them, like I said, on an anatomical landmark, which means just bone segments. And we measure the bones just so we can be more accurate. And this is a picture of where the bones and where the markers should be located. And this is Shane with a mustache. And all the markers are placed basically where the bone segments are located. And you can compare these two pictures. And this is just the front, and this is the back picture. All right, so the material that we needed was these cameras. These cameras are motion capturing cameras. They detect the markers, which are retroreflective, and they capture frames. They capture 100 frames per second, and they have infrared light, which makes the light bounce off the marker. And on this left picture, if you zoom in a little, which we can't, you see all the lines pointing to one specific marker. But this picture shows them all within, and it shows these lines, which show the position of the cameras and where they angle to the marker. And this is basically a camera that we had in our lab. And we have sit around the whole room, so each camera picks a certain marker and traces that marker the whole time. And this is one of our treadmills. This is an instrumented tandem belt treadmill, which means there's a belt under it that keeps going in a circle. As you can see right here, it goes all around. And since there's two force plates, there's two separate ones that go like that and like that. And they basically spin the treadmill and make it move. While the force plates are collecting data, they collect all the force. And this captures at 1,000 hertz per second. And can anybody guess the market retail sales price for a treadmill?
$13.
Close.
Not close.
You see?
100,000.
100,000? Yes. All right. Can anybody guess the market retail price for the cabins for all of them?
$7.
Kind of close. No. Ben?
$200,000.
No.
They're less than the treatment. Oh, wait a minute. Then
50,000.
yeah. So these are a little more expensive than the ones you'll find at the gym. All right. So to start our methods off, first we had to collect our data. So we started with 9 female, they were sub-elite female athletes. So they completed 5 minutes of running at 2.5 meters per second. And we collected 5 consecutive gait cycles, which just basically means 2 steps is 1 gait cycle. So left and right step, that's 1 gait cycle. And then after we collected this data, after we got the 9 participants and we collected the 5 gait cycles, we went into the software Kinematics 2.5. And we started with, let's see about that. We started with this. That is what the cameras picked up. We got the individual markers in space, and then this, and then we had sometimes the cameras didn't pick up all of the markers at once. Sometimes there was a marker missing. It was like hidden behind something, so it wasn't picked up. So that's when we had to manually go in and fill that marker. And then after we filled up the gaps and we had our full model, our segmented model, we went into a different software called Visual 3D, and that created, we pipelined it, and we created this model. It gave us an accurate model of the bones and segments of the participant.
All right, so this is one of the graphs we got. This, we were calculating the angle, the velocity, and the acceleration for the left and right leg, and we wanted to look at the knee, the hip, and the ankle, and the only difference that we really got was in the ankle portion, for the ankle and the knee, and this just showed that their left and right leg were asymmetrical. That means that they weren't the same, they were a little bit different. And if you go on to the next slide, this shows a better representation. It's more zoomed in, and you can see the difference. Cyan is the right leg, is the left leg, sorry about that, and the black line is the right leg. And we can see the difference between them, and we can see that they are asymmetrical. this might be due to flexibility and different things, like if they exercise on a daily basis, this could affect how they run and maybe adjust their angles. And this graph shows all our forces. On the left, we have the body weight count, which shows how much pressure, how much body weight we are putting on the floor. And so as time goes, one body weight, and it calculates all the forces that put them into the graph. And the main forces we are looking at is vertical, which is in the blue line right there. We are looking at mediolateral, which is left to right forces, and they are in the purple right there. And then we are looking at the anterior posterior, which is the red line right there. And that's front and back forces. And this just basically shows all our forces. And we had to process all of these. That way they look neater because we had a lot of different lines everywhere. And so we basically like cleaned it all up and processed the data.
Okay, so to conclude, as we said, we had an asymmetry in the angle of the ankle and the knee in the left and right leg. This is probably due to inflexibility in the right ankle. This inflexibility in the right ankle also causes a lower range of motion in the knee. However, the hip angle was still symmetrical between the left and the right leg, and the velocity and the acceleration between the two were all symmetrical. So, as you can see, this is the right leg on the right of this graph, and this is the left leg. As you can see, the right leg is slightly higher, the forces are slightly higher than the left leg, and this is due to the asymmetry in the angle of the ankle and the knee. Lower angle causes greater ground reaction forces, and too much of this ground reaction force can actually harm the ligaments and the bones in your leg. So we're trying to create symmetry in the left and the right leg so that we don't have too much ground reaction force, so we don't damage our leg. Okay, so for future research, like I said earlier in the presentation, we can use gait analysis to study the gait of prosthetic patients. Like I said in the previous slide, too much ground reaction force caused by asymmetry can harm the leg. So prosthetic patients, if they have asymmetry in their legs, which they probably will because a prosthetic is quite different than an actual leg. So studying the gait of that, we can help improve prosthetics. And cancer, we can actually, at the biomechanics lab, we have two biologists studying this right now. We have cancer patients and their gait, trying to understand if cancer harms gait in any way.
All right, and we are reaching the conclusion of this presentation. But first, we would like to thank our sponsors. My sponsor was Adolf Forbes.
My sponsor was Excel Energy for my research.
And they basically sponsored me for my research and me being able to live here, and I thank them and I appreciate that. And we did not get a picture of Shane, but we would also like to acknowledge our mentor and advisor, and he's a fun person and a really good teacher, and I appreciate him. And I would also like to thank UNC and the Math Institute for giving us this opportunity to do these amazing things like research. Even though we're still in high school, I really appreciate that, and I want to thank them. And thank you. Any questions?
Yes, you get the back.
Did you question your participants about previous injuries?
I'm not sure. Yes, we did. We definitely did.
Would you think that it might have affected your data and study work in favor, or if there
Probably.
based off of that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if they had a new degree, it might have affected the asymmetry if they're able. Yeah. Maddie?
Okay, sorry, two-part my question. So, like, the first part is, so you said that a lot of like the was asymmetrical. So is the goal to be symmetrical?
Yeah. So walking, like if you're asymmetrical, you're like hobbling along. Walking symmetrical is the goal, yeah, because it reduces the ground reaction forces into the ground, limiting injury.
And then also, did you have any like participants in the study that had symmetrical states?
Well, yeah, probably, because that was just the average that we showed. That was just the average of them. Yeah, we did.
Okay, so you guys talked about like the little reflective balls and stuff, and they were based on the light. So what made you choose them?
Alright, so the question was, where do the markers go, basically?
Yeah, like why did you choose them?
We chose those so we could get a more accurate reading. That's why we put them on specific bones and joints, and also for our original 3D, so we could actually make it into a bone and segmented model, and so we could actually have better results. Any more questions?
Yes.
Is there a standard footwear used for this study? Did they all use similar footwear, or did the participants bring their own?
They brought their own shoes.
Chelsea?
Would you change the design of the headline and
So the question was, if we change the incline, would it affect the ground reaction force? And I think it would. I think it would affect the reaction force if we put incline. We also have that in the treadmill, and we could actually do that. But for this, for our research, we did not use the incline, so you're no picture.
So is there a reason why the gait analysis still has like two pads that more accuracy, or if you use one pad, how would that change accuracy, or how does that work?
For the treadmill? Yes. It was mostly for accuracy. We were able to average the forces. Yeah, that's how.
So you mentioned the difference between the weights of the participants on average, but was there like a significant difference between participants, like the timing and how long they spent in the various stages or like the courses?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
So was there a significant difference between the participants, the timing of the stages of the gait or the courses?
So, how long they were?
Or like whether there was between the participants.
Maybe. Honestly, I don't know. Sorry. Yes.
Most of us have a dominant hand right or left. I mean, does that transfer to legs too? He was talking about an injury. It seems like if you're right-handed, and most people are, then you'll be left leg. Is that right? I don't know.
Well, yes.
I can take this one.
Yeah.
Okay. The application of neural dominant in the upper extremity, were similarly in the lower extremity. They did not necessarily need to the upper extremity neural dominant. As for asymmetry, there isn't necessarily a link. But there is ongoing research of how important it is to look at a dominant leg or a dominant. So it is an aspect of biomechanics, but yeah.
Any more questions?